Skies were dark this weekend in parts of the state with storms. I'm just sitting here talking about it with State Representative Chuck Moss, the Republican from Birmingham. Now, you were up north in Empire, is it? Where you were?
Yeah, we were Empire, and then we left. We got home almost exactly at 5 o'clock, just in time to
Hear the sirens.
hear the sirens. Yeah, they don't blow those off like they used to all the time, and
That was a dark and scary sky.
it was. But where we were, it kind of went to the north and the south, so we were fine.
I was in an area of the Orchard Lake Fair, the Polish Country Fair, they call it there.
Yeah.
And, man, they cleared that place out in a hurry. The
Sure.
sky got black as night.
It was, and where we were, it did get dark down, Birmingham. But then kind of just a little bit of rain, and that was it.
What do you say to the people who keep saying that the governor's your new budget, let's put it that way,
Our new budget.
our new budget, okay, really sacrifices education in order to give a tax break to the big corporations?
Well, that's the line. The thing is that Governor Snyder was elected saying we need to get the boot off the neck of enterprise and businesses and start getting some jobs. And we have jobs, as you were talking about, the auto companies hiring people back, people work, they spend money. You get the spiral going up instead of downward like it's been for 10 years. As for public education, 1.7% cut as opposed to some areas which took 15% more. And we love K-12 public education, but the issue now is that with the compensation and going up and up and up, it's become in a lot of ways a bubble or a house of cards. It's not only unsustainable, it's unaffordable now, and there's no level of taxation that can continue this level of compensation and legacy costs. It's General Motors all over again, and you can't take a 1.7% cut after going up year after year after year after year. I think it can be done, and if you look at least one of my school districts, it's 85% and 190 in another percent of general fund goes to labor. So of every dollar, 90% of it goes out the door to the union, and that's not sustainable either.
So when Doug Pratt was here earlier from the MEA, the lobbyists, and if you would listen to him talk, you would think that the sky is falling, that the classrooms are going to be overcrowded, and that they've already taken year after year after year of cuts.
Well, that doesn't hold water. If you look at the school aid budget, I think it went down slightly in 2 years of the last 10, but it's gone up. I think it's about 16% over the last 10 years. Other areas have gone down, and this is a 1.7% cut. And school, for instance, colleges are taking up what, 15? K-12 is going to have to do what everyone else does and provide a better product, better quality, for less cost, which is what you do here. You don't get to have a raise every year. You can't just wage.
What's a raise?
Exactly so. I know people on my street have 100% wage cuts because they lost their jobs.
Yeah. Now, but I've used that analogy with Senator Whitmer before, for instance.
Well, that's not going to fly with her.
And when I talk about the auto industry,
yeah,
and compare it to K through 12 education, she says, well, the auto industry doesn't stop investing in their research and development, and that's what we're doing.
Well, yeah, but the underlying financial model is the same. You can't take in $10 and spend 11, and you can't have 90% of your income go to labor when those labor costs are uncapped. You can't have legacy costs that go up and up and up every year to eat you alive. And K-12 is going to have a financial model that works now. They can't just keep saying, well, we need more and more and more year after year after year while everyone else starves. And that doesn't mean we don't like schools and don't like kids. It's just that the government financial model, particularly a lot of local governments, are houses of cards. That's what, and it's not just schools. You have cities, you have townships, you have villages. I don't know about counties, but a lot of them are in trouble because they've given away, in the good years, they wanted to share and be generous with employees, which is a wonderful thing. But when your revenue drops, you can't continue to keep the rate of increase.
Mr. Pratt seemed to feel that the next target would be collective bargaining, that the next place that the Republican-led government and down the street here will turn is to collective bargaining when it comes to the teachers.
I don't see why. I mean, that's the boogeyman that they've been, scarecrow that they've been waving around ever since Wisconsin to gin up their members. I don't see that that's necessary. Well, why that? But, in the long run, why should the existence of a union be hostile to the interests of the public? It shouldn't be. If we only have so much money to pay, we only have so much money, a good strong union, can protect the rights of the workers, can protect the rights of the teachers. it doesn't have to be a hostile thing where it's the teachers union against everybody else. And I don't see any need to get rid of collective bargaining. I don't think Governor Snyder wants to go that way. I don't think that would be healthy for Michigan. If we had wanted to do it, believe me, about the time of Wisconsin, we could have. You know, we could have thrown. There were people who wanted us to do that too, throw that gauntlet down. But I don't think that's the direction we need to go.
Well, when he says that, Doug Pratt again says that the governor claims he wants to remake the Michigan education system by July, what is he saying?
Well, he came out with his plan. You know, you get rid of teacher tenure. Why should the turkeys hold down the stars? Why should your kids? You know, every school system has its stars, has its good people, but it's also got its turkeys. Anybody who's been in public school like me or my kids know that. So why do you protect the turkeys? Why not ease them on out and let the stars continue and get some new kids in too with some fresh blood? There's going to have to be more accountability. And they're not just talking about the collapsed and ruined schools like down, let's face it, the city of Detroit. There are schools that aren't performing for the amount of money we're paying. We ought to be getting the best.
So it's another way of saying it that the education system should reflect the private sector.
Well, it should learn from the private sector. I mean, the government can't just say, for instance, like General Motors, we're going to spin off Oldsmobile. You know, we're just not going to make Oldsmobiles anymore. Schools can't say, well, we're just not going to teach 10th grade anymore, or we're just not going to teach elementary school anymore. Government has to perform certain functions, but it can learn how to deliver the product better and at less cost.
All right. Well, travel safely by land and by sea, I take it.
Yeah, well, I'm not walking across the water there.
You've got session on Wednesday, so there'll be a mad dash up 127 to 75.
The police up there are going to be watching carefully, and I've learned my lesson.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll see you on the island, maybe even for a cigar. Who knows?
But not on the porch of the Grand. Somebody banned that. I don't know who.
Find a spot somewhere.
There's plenty.
Is there a chance we could be adjusting the smoking law? Have you heard anything like that?
No.
No chance.
I don't think so.
Okay. Sorry to hear that. Thank you very much. That's State Representative Chuck Moss, the Republican from Birmingham. Lots of bar owners tell me they're hurting. That's why I say that. Back in a flash.